Singapore has been labelled a healthy blue zone by American author and longevity researcher Dan Buettner. He defines this as a region where people live longer and enjoy better health well into old age. But to tap opportunities in this fast-aging society, he sees a need for a multi-government effort. Mr. Buettner is the keynote speaker for the inaugural DBS Foundation Summit to be held here next week. CNA's Mathew tells us more.
Singapore is known as the sixth blue zone right now. So with this changing demographics, why is it important to have a conversation on aging and redefining the aging narrative?
What blue zones have going for them is a general attitude that older people are treasures and they're kept in the family or near the family, and their resiliency, their wisdom, their help is harnessed. So it's not only a health and human suffering issue, it's also an economic issue. And a lot of it, as we see in other blue zones, is driven by attitudes. It's not just driven by brute policy, but it's driven by the way we perceive older people, the way we treat older people, and then the subtle messages we give them about their self-worth and their importance in society.
How do you change the traditional mindsets that are set in place and maybe even challenge the stereotypes of growing old?
What you can change is policy. I really admire Singapore's policy of giving financial incentives to live near your aging parents. If you're warehousing your aging parent, the older people in retirement homes, they're completely marginalized. The public housing schemes that Singapore has should be a model for the rest of the world. They make great use of space. At the ground floor, there's multicultural restaurants. There's hawker stands nearby often. And there's public spaces where children and older people can get together.
What about the role of businesses when it comes to realizing emerging opportunities?
You know, I can imagine a committee that is sensitive to older people, that maybe brings the oldest employees and actually ask them, what do you think you contribute to this company that younger employees don't? And get really clear on what they have to contribute. And it's going to be different if you run a factory as opposed to a construction company, as opposed to an accounting firm or whatever it is. So upper management needs to get clear on what older people can contribute. And with that, you can then write job descriptions. Older people tend to be good at resilience. They tend to be good at resolving conflict. These are things that I think are overlooked and can increase the profitability.
How should the various stakeholders work together to tackle the changing reality of more aging societies?
Singapore was one of the best success stories at managing the pandemic. And think of aging as the new pandemic. You need the Minister of Housing, the Minister of Education, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Business to come together in a summit and bring the demographers there. The demographers will tell you exactly how Singapore is growing older, and then also the level of chronic disease and disability. And then we have the power to shape our surroundings and shape our policies that are going to compress that morbidity or lengthen it out. And that's going to require a multi-governmental effort focused on it.